This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.
I did a thing. Look at me.
Yeah.
You did
Never before.
That's smart.
That was
Smart.
nerve wracking.
You're smart. You know that?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So
that
is
your name,
that
Leslie?
recording, or do we need a thingy,
No.
or?
No, it should be recording now.
Okay, so
Actually,
we're gonna start the meeting. Welcome everybody to December of 2024 Commission on Disability meeting. I don't see anybody here for public speak, right? Any of you wanna public speak?
Leslie,
What's that?
can
Share things that are not on the agenda that might be on your
Oh,
mind.
okay. Sorry.
That's okay.
I do that, I don't know if this is on the agenda, but that timer is, not fast enough for Bryce
It's
to.
not public speak though, so you gotta do it later towards the end,
Oh, okay.
because public is just for people who don't belong. But there's time at the end, totally. I would love for you to bring that up.
I didn't
I
know
might
if
do that.
it was anything not on the agenda. or-
mine's a different room.
Yep. And,
Well, he's not a member, correct,
Oh,
right?
yes,
Yeah,
correct.
okay. So, we're gonna start with our speaker. Do you want to introduce yourself, Amy? And take it away?
Sure. Hi.
Hi,
Nice. I can see the two people who are also online, but I can see a couple faces at the table, and then I see a lot of tables. So I'm sorry to not be able to be there in person and meet you all in person. But my name is Amy Sugihara. I'm the chair of the Northampton Disability Commission. Thanks for having me. It's great to connect with another commission and other commissioners. And I heard through Keith Benoit, who's our ADA coordinator, that you wanted to hear kind of what the Northampton Disability Commission is up to. Is
Yes.
that correct?
Yep.
Okay, great. So I don't know if you've had a chance to look at any of our past agendas, but just glancing at yours for today, it seems like we're kind of on similar pages. So I started as chair last January, when our previous chair of about 4 years became a city councilor, Councilor Jeremy Dubbs. So I've only been chair for, almost not quite a year. So in the past year, a major topic has been sidewalks. And we have developed a good working relationship with our director of DPW, Director Lascalia. And she's quite supportive and understanding of the importance of sidewalks for everyone, really, but certainly including those of us who use mobility devices. So we're working with her right now. Currently, we just had a meeting on Tuesday, looking at a city ordinance. It's called the Complete Streets Ordinance, to look at that language and potentially recommend some edits that would then go to city council and on and on. So sidewalks is a big conversation that kind of comes up periodically, and it feels like we're making some headway in that realm. Something you're well ahead of us on is the PSA for snow shoveling. So the ordinance that says, hey, everyone, please shovel your sidewalks within 24 hours of a storm. So you all have this fantastic PSA that you've put out, and I reached out to Eli this fall. Oh, hi, I see your hand. Who graciously connected me with the person in town to get that footage and to give permission that we can use your footage and of course give you credit. So we're working on that, and we have a subgroup who is kind of working on getting people to record the voices to go along with the PSA. So hopefully putting that out soon, thanks to your support. Thank you very much. So that has come up, you know, like any group, it's slow progress. So, you know, we were talking about the PSA a year ago, and then winter came and it stopped. And so then we picked it up again in the spring, and, you know, there was delays for various reasons. And so, you know, things take a while. So hopefully the PSA will be happening shortly. We did, for Disability Pride Month in July, we put on an online resource fair. So we had, I believe, 9 speakers, and that's recorded, and on the city's website, there's a link to it if any of you are interested in hearing it. But it was 9 different organizations that came and spoke. So it was kind of like a panel with Q&A at the end. So we're considering doing that again for next July. So if that's something you all wanted to collaborate with, or I know we sent out an invite to folks, so hopefully you all got that invite to attend that. But that's something I feel like we could kind of build on and could be a great resource for the community. Other things we do, kind of, you know, little bits pop up. I just looked back at our agendas for the past year. Supporting an MOD grant, Massachusetts Office on Disability, so kind of voting on that and then writing a letter of support. We've done various supports for accessible trails, both locally and on the state level. Someone local here, Meg Bandera, has started Unpaved Trails for All and has been incredibly active and kind of a key figure in getting some things moving forward on the state level. So there's going to be a state working group to look at the dismal amount of accessible trails that we have statewide on state land. So hopefully that will change in the coming years. We worked with a few organizations last spring to put on a showing of a movie called Go On, Be Brave. And that was a great showing. We hear variance requests from time to time, and I saw on your agenda wanting new members. We can have 9, and we're down to 7. We had 2 people step down this summer and fall, and so we are always looking for new members, like I saw you all are also doing. But I pulled up your list, and it looks like you have 9 and you would like 12. So you have higher robust goals than we do. Yeah, so that's kind of a summary of what we've been up to for the past year. Does anyone have questions or follow up, any thoughts or anything else I can offer?
Okay.
What kind of funding do you get, and how does your city council work? Like, where does the money come from, I guess? And do you get any? And
yeah, that's a great question, and we've wrestled with that because we do not have any funding. We have there's something called a revolving fund that was set up years ago that the Disability Commission has control over these funds, these revolving funds that come from parking tickets when people park in accessible spots and they're not supposed to, and they are ticketed. So that money goes into a fund. but that money is, I mean, rightly so. It really goes towards interpretive services. So if someone needs an interpreter, then that's where the funding comes from. But in terms of like when we did the event in July for the resource fair, I think the funds for photocopying to put up flyers came from planning and sustainability, I believe. So they kind of found some, I mean, it was very little money for photocopies, but yeah. So essentially there is no funding. Mm-hmm.
Any other questions?
Nope.
Is there anything you want to ask us?
Would you ever be interested in working on anything together?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have something in mind?
Well, I mean, if, thinking about Disability Pride Month, if you all were interested in doing anything for that, that would be something to collaborate on. I saw you had something maybe on December 3rd. I was curious what you all did for.
We didn't. We talked about it, but we keep losing members, or we don't have members that are available to work on projects outside of this 1 hour.
Right.
So we wanted to do something for World Disability Day. We didn't get to, so
okay.
On it for next year. We wanted to do a bunch of stuff, but
yeah, that is the trick, is running into availability outside of this hour and also running into quorum. So right now we're at 7, so our quorum is 4. So it means any, little subgroups are 3 people.
Right.
So, all the work falls to a very tiny group of.
same.
Which is true. Yeah.
And how do you get new people normally for you guys?
People will put in applications and then it's up to the mayor to screen them. And
But are you going out in the community, or they're just coming to you?
Not officially, but people will talk to people they know to say, hey, are you interested? Will you apply? So yes, there's that kind of unofficial effort, kind of ongoing.
Do you work with any other towns currently?
We don't. We did a showing of a movie, Crip Camp, which you might know.
Yeah.
Not this past summer, but the summer before. So that's what we did for the Disability Pride Month that July. And maybe not all, but a lot of the folks from the Amherst Commission on Disability came and had interest in working together, but that hasn't happened yet.
Anybody else have any questions?
I do. Where are you located?
We're in Northampton, so not far from you,
Okay.
10, 15 minutes.
Okay. All right.
Is there anything planning department wise you want to share with this person or no?
Not related to anything here, but I think Louise is trying to talk, but she's muted.
Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. If you can hear me, that's presumably you're talking about Northampton, NoHo. So that's by car, 10 to 15 minutes.
Right.
Yes, you're right.
And there is no public transport worth, yeah, okay.
Yep, exactly. Very good point. By cycling or public transportation, or
Can you say when you're
You
meeting?
have to be able-bodied enough to take the bike trail
yeah, exactly. Yes,
the way between them.
yes. I can periodically ride a trike supported with All Out Adventures. If you all don't know All Out Adventures, you should definitely check them out. They're fantastic.
Yeah, we have them here.
Oh, good. They come to Easthampton.
Not
What
accessible
time
to
is
me. I mean, I keep feeling I'm not really, shouldn't really even be on this commission, but disabilities include lack of public transport, or limitations.
Yeah.
When I can't drive my own car, I'm just isolated.
Yep.
Which, yeah, sorry.
Which is very hard. It's very hard. Yep. It is a real concern. And I think you asked when we meet, and we meet the second Tuesday of every month at 4 p.m. on Zoom.
Nothing's in person.
Nothing
It's
is
all-
in person.
Okay.
Yeah, so I welcome you all to join any of our meetings anytime.
I would like to.
Great, that would be wonderful.
Okay.
The next one, let me-
Charlie, do you have a question?
Where's the place?
Where's the
Guys,
place?
what-
They meet online. They meet online. They don't meet. So
Oh, I
Nate could
see.
help if you wanted to join the meeting. Nate could help you get on the computer. Okay.
Okay.
And they're on Zoom, not Meet, which to me is brilliant.
I still have a home.
Stan, you raise your hand.
I did. I wanted to add something, that when you were talking about the, parking and funding, that rule is part of the state general laws. So, I mean, that's not an arbitrary request. That is provided for under the Massachusetts general laws, which we both operate under.
oh, thank you. I actually did not know that. So do you
Yes.
all also have a revolving fund?
No, it was still turned down by the mayor, but, you know, I tried that option. You may be more successful, but it is a legal requirement under Mass General laws.
Interesting. I think City Councilor Marianne Labarge was critical in making that happen years ago. Yeah. And she was the liaison to the Disability Commission for years. And now Councilor Dubs is our liaison.
What do you spend your money on?
The revolving funds really goes to interpretive services. So when people need an interpreter for our events. Right now that, and then we voted to allow some of the money go towards an MOD grant to upgrade some facilities in City Hall. So like push buttons and lower desks and things like that. Lower counters, I mean, not desks.
Are there other questions? No? Well, thank you, Amy. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for reaching out, and I look forward to seeing some of you at our meetings and potentially
Working
working together
together.
in the future.
Yeah, just write to me about whatever you want to touch base about.
Okay, how would I get in touch with you?
He's had my email, so I don't know.
Okay, I could ask him to share stuff. All right, that sounds great. Perfect.
Thank you
Thank
you.
you. Have a good day.
too.
Bye.
Thank you.
Leslie, hi.
Hi, I'm here, but I'll show you where I am. I am currently laid up with a broken ankle, so I didn't think
Sorry.
you guys wanted to see me elevating. So
Oh.
that's why I'm
That's all
video
right.
off.
Stan, have you read any good tidbits lately?
I did find something today, and that is that there is a movement at the federal level to get rid of the use of, I think it's called Article 14, which allows businesses to pay handicapped workers below minimum wage.
Wow, that's.
There was a research study done recently about that, and they found that a large percentage of disabled workers are earning $3.50 or less per hour, and many are earning less than a dollar or less per hour
And this
for
is
doing
where
the same jobs as abled workers.
in the US.
Um, uh,
That's what it's saying here in the US.
So,
In the US, yes, this is the United States Department of Labor.
so,
The waiver is called Document 14C that allows this, and they're now trying to repeal it.
that's, yeah,
Wait, Stan, you're talking about, so it's federal. So has it been passed yet?
It's been in effect for many
But
years.
who's supporting it, Republican or Democrat?
Well, I mean, they're trying to, the thing now is to reach Democrats and tell them they've got to do away with it.
this is,
Okay, so they're working against a deadline of January 20th.
Okay.
um,
And it was originally instituted because there weren't enough job opportunities for disabled people to work.
That's only going to get worse.
the-
I mean,
Yeah.
it's, I mean, can I speak to this?
Okay, go ahead.
So this is a policy that was instituted in like the 1930s. It was a Roosevelt era policy originally, for blind people actually to work in what was called blind alleys. They would make, I think there was a lower cap originally and then it was got, it used to be a certain percentage of minimum wage was the lowest you could earn. And then it was, I think they got rid of the cap the more that community mental health started integrating and developmental disability and sheltered workshops for all populations became instituted. So they've been getting rid of this on the state level for, state by state for a long time. It is still on the books federally, but I know Riverside, for instance, used to be entirely sheltered workshop, and that was a 14C waiver. And that they got rid of that, I think over 10 years ago. And, after a phase out process that was announced before that, I think that I don't know how many states still have sub minimum wage on the books, but it's going away slowly. I mean, I could get into the process of it, and it's a special permit that certain organizations that are nominally dedicated to training disabled people can get. It's not like a random hotel could pay below minimum wage. I could get into the nuance, and it's not all as dark as one would imagine. Yeah, I mean, this is an ongoing thing. It's interesting that there's, I think I think the movement on a federal level kind of ebbs and flows, and you probably caught an ebb. But yeah, it's definitely, I don't know, but I could go on about that. Yeah.
Anything else you found, Stan?
Well, just something that might affect you in that the federal government is talking about, they haven't approved anything about not providing health care and other benefits to retired veterans' children.
The children.
The children of retired veterans.
My kids don't get any care to begin with.
Well, that's the way I saw it laid out when I saw it
They're
online.
gonna take away something I don't have. Cool. No. But I'm also not retired, so maybe
Oh,
that's
okay.
different, right? Like I just did my time and left. So, but okay, veteran. Okay,
But you still work with the veteran community, and
I
there may be people there.
absolutely do. Okay, well, thank you for that. Is that from the little scoop place?
Yep, Disability Scoop.
Got it.
Anyone who wants to can write to them at disabilityscoop.com and request a free subscription.
Really? I didn't know that. I use them all the time.
Yes.
Write a letter. Yeah, I would like to do that.
Yeah.
Write
Yeah,
a letter to them.
Originally Stan wanted to see if we could get the
Email.
money to have it for our group and then didn't go through. Well, thank you, Stan. I appreciate it. Let's see. On our agenda, minutes approval, we did not do November minutes. We slipped up. So next month we'll have to do 2.
Yeah, true.
Let me see. I know she said as far as recruiting members, we're actually allowed to have 13 and we have 9. I thought there was a new woman that joined, but she's not here. Leslie, do you remember the name of the woman?
I think it was Bonnie. I saw on the list on the agenda list, that was, where did I see it?
Yeah, because she
I
didn't
saw
come
that
last.
she didn't come last time. But yeah, she seemed super interested.
Let me just run into that for a second.
One we forgot to. You know how to.
Yeah, Bonnie McLeod.
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
that's who I
that's
think it is.
I'll have to write to her because it's the second meeting. Oh, bueno. I'll call her.
All right, Bobby, let's listen to the meeting. I talked about that.
Okay. Okay. And Louise, you said there might be somebody you might send our way.
Yeah. I don't know if she's contacted you. I haven't heard from her.
Okay. And Leslie Shar's out of it. She's not gonna do it.
At this stage, apparently, yeah.
Okay.
Because her carrying responsibilities are too much. I mean,
Right.
bless her.
Okay. Yep, go ahead.
Mark the future the show for
Because Leslie's laying down, she doesn't feel well, so she doesn't want to be on screen.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, she's a broken ankle, so she's suffering.
I thought she'd be okay.
Yeah, she'll be okay, but she doesn't want us to see her suffering.
I'm not, I pray for her.
Oh, I love that. That's perfect.
Thank you for your well wishes.
You're welcome, my friend.
Yeah, so World Disability Day was December 3rd, flew by. I'm hoping to do something next year. I know these meetings are short 1 hour, so literally 12 hours. 12 hours. What can we get done in 12 hours in a year? Not a lot, unfortunately. Do you guys have future speaker ideas or requests, people that you want me to see if they can come and share information that I may not be aware of?
I will send, you mentioned something about Riverside presenting as an organization. I could definitely, now that we're like here and stuff.
Yeah, because they did it so many years ago, but we
Yeah,
need
and
to,
Nick wouldn't be the contact person anymore.
All right.
He's no longer with the organization.
who's that then?
You can try either, you know, Sarah, right?
Yeah.
You can try asking Sarah or yeah, I mean, Sarah would be a good contact person. Marcus, the PR person might
Okay.
be, okay, I don't know. The other thing is I was at the, I took a picture of the flyer. I was, it's,
Sorry, who's talking? I can't see.
it's Jeff. Hi, Jeff
Thank you,
Brown.
Bonnie.
And
Camera's awful.
yeah, I took a picture of the flyer and it was at the Y, but the Y is doing life skills classes for neurodivergent young adults. And the coast facilitator I noticed is actually a receptionist at Riverside that I had
Oh.
no idea what she did, but I mean that might be interesting. It was like
Neurodivergent what?
it's like an adulting class for neurodivergent, like for,
Oh, that's
you know,
cute.
yeah. So I wonder that I'm curious what it is. And I can email you a flyer. I can
Yeah,
talk to Rainbow, who's a co-facilitator, not the main facilitator.
that name sounds familiar.
Yeah. Her name, Rainbow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before upstairs.
Okay.
Yeah, she seems like someone you might encounter in your dance circles as well.
Great, send
Yeah,
me that
that's
info. Accessibility ordinance update, we don't have anything different. I touched base with, Counselor Zaret. And he's still sort of working up how he wants to word the ordinance. So we can bring it forth for all of you.
Yeah.
He can't make it to the meeting. We're kind of stuck because he works all day, right? And then being a city councilor is volunteer at night, and then
Is anybody, how did Councillor Zaret end up being the one representing us or pushing the accessibility ordinance forward?
so that's the, each person has a certain area that they work on. And so that's part, like he does, I think he does safety, and then I think he's just in charge of ordinances, I believe. And it was really, Counselor Gomez that I started with, but then he's super, super busy and he can't make it to the meeting, so he got handed off.
And he's passing stuff on to, Councillor Zaret because he's no longer interested, because I think I mean, his tenure is going to be limited by the fact that he's won his election next step up.
Right. He's very interested. He's just limited on time.
So his interest is limited. Zaret's always is. How did we not end up with somebody like Connie Denham?
So actually, Counselor Gomez said that, he was gonna send her to talk to us. So
He was what?
sending her to talk to us about this.
Okay, and she hasn't gone to
He
talk to.
just said it like a few days ago to me, so
Okay.
he is
Yeah.
gonna have Connie talk to me.
So Connie has to respond to you.
Oh, I don't know if he's notified her. Yeah, I have no idea, but yeah,
Right.
that was on. Yep. So Counselor Zaret's on do you know all the committees that he's on, Eli? He's on the safety committee and he's on the ordinance committee, and then I'm not sure what else,
I don't know
but that's why he's the main. So no update there, and I know it's being drawn out for a very long time. But it'll get done because I'm persistent, not letting it go. Did you want to share anything about anything?
So we've actually, big update in planning, we now have a new director finally. So Allison Manuel, she was the planning director for West Springfield. She'll now be joining us on Monday. So
Director of what?
director of planning.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
and then just because I informed you folks of kind of the process before, there was some interest in that 40B project over at 385 Main Street that was before the Zoning Board of Appeals. That did get passed. However, it has been appealed by some of the neighbors, so that's currently going to be in appeals. So there's going to be a delay on
Where is it again?
385 Main Street. Which direction? That
Yeah.
direction. That way.
What, and what did they want? I'm sorry, what do they want to do with it?
So it was developing, I believe 87 new units, all that were going to be marked affordable in
Okay.
perpetuity, while also creating 45 acres of permanently restricted conservation land.
Oh, and why don't they want it? Some people?
The neighbors, don't want,
Construction.
the construction going next to them. They have concerns about the soil conditions. There's a lot of development in there that has flooding, so they're worried about their soil conditions of, they built a house on a floodplain, so they don't want to see any more construction on a floodplain is generally the
I think
idea.
everybody's gonna sing.
Again, it's you never know what
Right.
the issue is, if you have a piece of property and you're next to a nice open space, nobody likes to see a building go there. So kind of, is
Right.
it concerned about flooding? Is it concerned about building? It's, the appeal ultimately, we'll go to court and we'll get navigated.
Got it.
So
Okay.
that's where that is at now, but those are kind of the big updates from planning. So, yeah,
Great.
looking forward to the new year.
Any comments or questions about those?
No.
Jeff Brown, did you want to bring up?
Sorry, question. Just which development were you talking about? I couldn't hear at the beginning.
So that was 385 Main Street.
Yeah, I think I know.
Is that just south of Boulinger's Plumbing?
Potentially, I'm not sure, what business is over there. I believe so. It's,
Okay.
right before you would get to Big Y.
Right,
and-
right, on the right side going south.
Correct.
Okay, there's a new group in town called Easthampton Concerned Citizens. And they are concerned that a development like this one and a development like Tasty Top are going to cause too much traffic.
Mhm.
And the inconvenience of additional traffic is more important to them than people having nice and affordable places to live. And I have been arguing with them for
Yeah.
several months about this.
Well, they actually hate poor people and minorities, so that's,
Oh, yikes,
You know.
yikes. So,
Um,
what's that?
I know some people, other
it's-
people who are watching this development, but their newish group, I can't remember, it's like, but their interest is housing. And other than that, I'll check in with them.
Okay. So I have to leave in 5 minutes because I have to leave 10 minutes early, but it can go on without me. But what were you going to say about your new business that you want to bring up?
Yeah, just, I was just, testing out the crosswalk with like a real test, and the timer just, Bryce couldn't even get across
Is that
half
the
of one.
DPW?
I don't know who's signing off on.
Yes. Yeah.
But I've been complaining about the timer for months, and it was a complaint that was the last timer that was still not addressed. And,
Right.
it's
dangerous.
and
Stressful.
and the audio signal needs to be like 50 decibels louder than it is when.
And who's in charge of the DPW?
Greg Nuttleman.
Okay, that guy. I like him. Okay.
We should have them come
Know him?
and talk about that too.
I don't know him.
Bruce, hi.
Um,
I had something to say.
Yeah, you want to contribute?
I went to the high school.
Yeah.
Somebody had made a comment about access for
Yes.
people, and I went all around, and all the doors in the back are like Fort Knox doors, so only access would be through the main entrance, and there is a curb cut, a great big yellow marker for the crosswalk and stuff like that.
You talk a little louder so they can hear you.
So the thing about getting into the high school is that it's all cobblestones in the front.
Right.
And it's a real pain in the neck for somebody with a walker or
Yeah.
a wheelchair. Somebody
Yeah, like a
that's
jackhammer. Yeah.
unstable on their feet to get across that. So, and there's no automatic door.
Right. And then the one in the back is locked, you said, right?
All they're they're just total blank gray doors, metal doors, and there's no marking on them or anything like that, so obviously they'd be locked up. And there's no parking in the back. The only accessible parking is right in front of the main doors.
So I reached out to the principal there about an updated list of kids that would be willing to help folks with disabilities shovel for free or discounted. Haven't heard back from him. I can ask these questions. I don't know that he's gonna have answers. Who does that go to? Like if the handicap doors in the back, it's not labeled, right? Not labeled and there's no parking. Is there a way to like bring attention to that?
So this is at the school?
Yeah, high school.
Yeah, I would say if you brought it up to the principal and you haven't heard a response there, it's probably worth bringing up to the superintendent.
Okay, I'll just start with the principal.
Yeah. And then, superintendent, then it would be school committee after that at a public comment period.
Okay. Yes, Stan.
Yeah, interesting that you just mentioned superintendent because there are 3 new candidates for that position that are currently being interviewed by the school committee. And if anyone wants to, participate in that selection, go to their meetings and, see what they're looking at and say your piece to them.
Yeah, I can't access those literally. Has to be, subcommittees are mostly in person with only not enough remote control.
I agree.
So, but if it comes to the school committee, I think I have a contact there who is experienced, has a kid with disabilities, and he'd be a good contact. So if it gets that far.
Okay, is it the person that visited us or?
Sorry?
Do you want to say who it is? Is it the person that visited us?
Sam Hunter, Linnell.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And he's like basically a very good person.
Okay.
The other two, yeah.
Okay, are there other issues we want to talk about before closing the meeting?
Oh, no, I'll say something to you.
Not you either?
No.
Okay. So then, for now, we'll do motion to adjourn. Everybody okay with that? Perfect. Thank you for coming. I'll work on some of this stuff here that I wrote down.
Yeah, I'm thinking. All right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.